You get up there on the platform, you cannot let anything get in the way. If you're hungry, if you're tired, if you're anxious, or just otherwise preoccupied, doesn't matter. Nothing's an excuse. I'm Sarah Hansen, 25 years old, and I'm a 53 kg weightlifter and a software engineer also. When I got my job, when I got hired at IBM, I thought, well, I'm a grown-up now, I have my own job, I should probably start going to the gym. And then it kind of turned into, I kind of had a knack for it, I guess. I guess I've always kind of done things that were seen as more boys or masculine activities. Started with, like playing video games. And then I went to school for computer science, and it was just me and two other girls walking across the stage graduating. Weightlifting is the snatch and the clean and jerk. So the snatch, you start from the ground, it's a wide grip, and you get the bar overhead in one movement. And then the clean and jerk starts from the ground, it's closer grip than the snatch. It goes from the ground to the shoulders, and then the jerk is from the shoulders overhead. So the sport is so mental. Like you cannot rely on strength alone. You can't rely on, anything physical. You have to be really mentally focused and tough.
I open up my door to greet the early morning sun, closing it behind me, and away I do run.
Well, right now I'm working out 4 times a week. The weekdays in the mornings, I'll get to the gym at 5:45. I show up before a lot of people do, and I'm there long after people leave. So typically like 3 or 4 hours. But it's actually a lot easier for me to get out of bed at 4:30 for weightlifting than it is for me to wake up at like 7 or 8 for work. And that's the truth. Crappy workout is if I'm scatterbrained, if I'm not focused, if I'm getting too frustrated, or letting the frustration show. And luckily that's actually happening a lot less these days, because I'm just a little bit more disciplined. And so even if I am getting really frustrated, it's not going to show as much as it used to. Oh my God. And that's another story. It's like the story about me training in the ditch. Dave, my coach, designed this program for me in which we went down to a ditch near my house, and he would just make me do drills. They were like extreme, pushing yourself all the way, to the limit. So it wasn't going to be 2 or 3 hours long. It was really like 45 minutes to an hour of like just hell. So it feels a lot longer when you're doing it. But yeah, no, it was only just bursts, and it was like 3 or 4 mornings a week. 35-pound kettlebell press, just overhead. Start running to a certain point, and then drop to the ground and do a bear crawl. Zigzag between, he had brought just a bunch of shoes. He brought my friend Kira. I had to drag her really fast all the way to some point. At some point I had to carry her over my shoulders, run as fast as I could. Carry 2 dumbbells, run across and come back. Okay, the point of the ditch was to completely break down my body just so that it feels like shit, it's tired, it's sore, it hurts, so that I would have to use my mind to push through, because your mind is a lot stronger than your body, and it needs to be. And it did translate to the platform. Nothing is an excuse anymore. Being a little bit tired, a little bit hungry, a little bit PMS, no, it doesn't matter. What matters most to me is training. I don't want to let anything get in the way. I'm going going to be trying to qualify for nationals. There's not a lot of time left to qualify for nationals, so I'm hoping that I get it here. I will have to hit really big numbers. I'm gonna have to hit, my maxes and probably more than I've ever lifted in training. But training is going really well, almost like freakishly well. And so I think there's a really, really good chance.
No lift for Sarah at 67.
You have to stay positive. You have to reset every time and try not to be affected by the fact that you just missed. But I was feeling shitty about just bombing out on snatch.
So no lift for Sarah at 78 kilos. We're going to tighten them up.
You try to control everything that you can, mentally, physically, but there's a part that you absolutely can't control. Any athlete on top of their game will tell you that they have failed a lot. You don't get as far as anyone successful does without trying and eating shit. In general, yeah, the people who want it the most, they're gonna get it. But sometimes it takes failing a bunch before you really, really get it. It's my whole life. And I can't imagine it not being. I can't imagine ever stopping.